Hello, I'm Mrs. Sapp from Evans Elementary, and today I'll be teaching you a 4th grade math lesson over geometry and classifying triangles. But before we get started, let's get our body and mind ready so we can be calm, alert, and ready to learn. We're going to start out with some stretches and some yoga poses. Yoga is a great way to get your breathing under control and also stretch out your muscles a little bit. The first yoga pose we're going to do is called the mountain pose. For this pose, you just want to put your feet shoulder width apart, spread out your fingers and put them to the side. And make sure you keep that chin up because mountains are strong, they can't be moved. While you're in your mountain pose, let's do 2 rounds of deep belly breathing. In through your nose and out through your mouth. Here we go. You are a strong mountain. The next pose we're going to try is a warrior pose. Warriors are also strong, but they're fierce. For this one, you're going to take one leg and put it out to the front. It doesn't matter which one. Just make sure that your front foot is pointing forward. Your back leg, step back a little bit and make sure that this foot is pointing to the side. You want to kind of bend a little bit, get that front knee bent, and kind of get into a lunge. So this is what your legs will be doing. Front leg, your knee is bent forward. Your back leg is straight with your foot to the side. Now with our arms, we're going to put one straight out to the front and the other straight to the back and kind of bend into it a little bit. You are a fierce warrior. We're going to take 2 breaths again, in through your nose and out through your mouth. Now we also have a warrior 2 pose. Do not move your legs. You should still have one bent in the front and a straight leg in the back. Your arms are going to go straight up and you're going to look toward the sky for victory. Hold that pose, stretch your arms up as tall as you can, and let's do our breathing. In through your nose and out through your mouth. Those are some great warrior poses. Another pose we're going to do is called the tree pose. Our arms are going to act like the branches, and our legs are going to be the trunk. This one's a little bit tricky because it takes some balance. If you need to hold on to something, that's perfectly fine. So what your arms are going to do is they're going to come straight up, palm to palm, up in the air. You're going to choose one of your legs to bring up slightly by your knee or just by your ankle, whatever feels comfortable to you. And if your tree waves a little bit, that's fine. So again, arms up, palm to palm, and lift up that leg and focus on your breathing. Those are some great trees. Now let's end with our strong mountain pose. We are strong, chin up. Let's breathe in and out. Great job. Now let's get started with classifying triangles, and the code word for today to let your teachers know is cake. Our objectives for today are, I can classify triangles based off of their angles. I can classify triangles based off of their side lengths. Let's watch a number rock video to kick off our classifying triangles. I hope you enjoy it.
By 2050, there will be triangle. If the length is equal on every side, say it's equilateral like this roadside. And since every angle's less than 90 degrees, an acute triangle it will also be. If you add up every angle, there are 180 degrees in a triangle. Skateboard ramps are your scene, with 3 different sides, they're called scalene. That triangle would also be called right if a 90-degree angle is inside. If you add up every angle, there are 180 degrees in a triangle.
There are 2 ways to classify triangles, by their sides and their angles. Like sails out on the high seas, can be right or isosceles. Or look at the foot of this goose, it's scalene and obtuse. When you break the pool balls with the cube, they're equilateral and acute.
If you add up every angle, there are 180 degrees in a triangle.
I hope you enjoyed that number rock video over triangles. Let's get started. The first way that you can classify or name triangles is by their angles. Before we start that, let's review our angles. There are 3 types of angles: right, acute, and obtuse. Right angles measure exactly 90 degrees. Acute angles measure less than 90 degrees, and obtuse angles measure more than 90 degrees. We have a right triangle here. If there is a 90-degree angle in sight, it's a right triangle every single time. It does not matter what the other 2 angles are in the triangle. If you see that 90 degree, like the corner of a square or a rectangle, it's a right triangle. Here we have an acute triangle. An acute triangle, all 3 angles measure less than 90 degrees. Here we have 66 degrees, 55 degrees, and 59 degrees. All of those degrees measure less than 90, so we would label this triangle as an acute triangle. Our last type of triangle that we can classify by angles is an obtuse triangle. An obtuse triangle has 1 angle measuring more than 90 degrees. This angle right here measures 120. You might notice that there's 25 degrees and 35 degrees, and those are acute. But with obtuse triangles, all you need is 1 obtuse angle for it to be classified as an obtuse triangle. So again, right triangles have a 90-degree angle. Acute angles, all 3 angles are less than 90 degrees. In an obtuse triangle, there is 1 angle measuring more than 90 degrees. Let's practice with a little I Spy game. Here are some objects that you might find at your house or outside. We're going to look at these objects for a minute and see if you can classify them. Is it a right triangle, an acute triangle, or an obtuse triangle? I'm going to give you a minute and have some think time to figure it out. Let's see what angles you found to classify these triangles. This piece of bread right here is actually a right triangle. It has one angle measuring 90 degrees. So when you're making yourself a sandwich and you cut it diagonally, you have a right triangle. Our yield sign that you might find while you're driving with your parents is an acute triangle because all three angles, 60, 60, and 60, measure less than 90 degrees. So our yield sign is an acute triangle. These chips are also acute triangles. All angles, 1, 2, and 3, measure less than 90 degrees, 70, 50, and 60. Here we have a hanger that you might find in your closet. We have a 30-degree angle, 30 degree, and 110. Because there is one angle measuring more than 90 degrees, 110, we would say that this is an obtuse triangle. Again, it does not matter what the other two angles are, as long as you have that one that measures more than 90 degrees. And up here, we have a birdhouse. And this birdhouse has a right angle in sight. If there is one angle measuring 90 degrees, it's a right triangle every single time. So how'd you do? Now we're going to learn how to classify triangles in a different way, based off of their side lengths. At this time, if you want to grab pencil, paper, or a notebook, at the end, I'll be asking you some questions. I'll be going over the definition of these three terms: equilateral, isosceles, and scalene. Again, these are based off of side lengths. Here we have an equilateral triangle. All three sides are the exact same thing. When you say equilateral, you hear the word equal in the beginning. So this green triangle has side lengths of 7, 7, and 7. They're all the same, so it's an equilateral triangle. The second way to classify a triangle by side lengths is called isosceles. And the definition is 2 out of the 3 sides are equal. Here we have side lengths of 5 inches, 5 inches, and 3 inches. As you can tell, 5 and 5 are the same, but 3 is different. So by the definition, 2 out of the 3 sides are equal. This would be an isosceles triangle. Our last way to classify triangles based off of side lengths is a scalene triangle. All 3 sides have different lengths. On this blue triangle, we have 12 centimeters, 6 centimeters, and 14 centimeters. They're all different, so it's automatically scalene. Let's review one more time before we practice. Equilateral, all 3 sides are equal. Isosceles, 2 of the 3 sides are equal. In scalene, none of the side lengths are the same. So let's practice. And again, the code word for today is cake. Here I have 3 different triangles, and I want you to tell by their side lengths if they are equilateral, all the same, isosceles, 2 lengths are the same, or scalene, all different. So this is a time where you can get your paper and pencil out and write down your answers. We'll go over it in just a minute. I'll give you some think time. Let's see how you did. Let's look at this first triangle. Length of side A is 4 centimeters. Side B is 5 centimeters. And side C is 2 centimeters. None of these lengths are the same, so we would say that this triangle is scalene. The middle triangle here, we have 4 centimeters for each and every side. All sides are equal. So we would call this an equilateral triangle. Our last one, we have 2 side lengths of 13 and 1 side length of 10. We know that isosceles triangles have 2 lengths that are the same and 1 that is different. So this one can be classified as an isosceles triangle. I know you did great. Now we're going to put all of our hard work together. We're going to classify these triangles by angles and sides. Again, for angles, you have 3 choices: right, acute, and obtuse. For classifying by length, you also have 3 choices: equilateral, isosceles, or scalene. You're going to look at triangles A, B, and C. Each of them should have 2 answers with it, based off of their angle and their sides. I'll give you a minute and some think time. Let's see how you smarties did. Let's look at triangle A first. Let's classify them first by angle. I see 60, 60, and 60 degrees. All of these are acute angles and measure less than 90 degrees. So this triangle is acute. Now let's look at the side lengths. We have 10 inches, 10 inches, and 10 inches. They're all equal, so that would be equilateral. So for A, you should have gotten acute, equilateral. Now let's look at B. Let's look at the angle first for classification. I see a 90-degree angle here in the corner. It looks like the corner of a square or a rectangle. Since there is a 90-degree angle, that is a right angle, which makes this triangle a right triangle. Now let's look at the sides. We have 3, 5, and 4. None of them are the same, so that would be scalene. So we would classify triangle B as a right scalene triangle. Last one, let's look at C. Let's look at the angle first. I see 50 degrees, 30 degrees, and 100. 100 is an obtuse angle. It measures more than 90 degrees. And all it takes is one angle measuring more than 90 degrees to make it an obtuse triangle. Let's look at the sides. We have 9, 11 feet, and 12 feet. None of those are the same, so it would be scalene. So we would classify or name this triangle as an obtuse scalene triangle. So, how'd you do? I bet you did just great. Here's an extension activity that you can do at home. It's springtime now, it's nice and sunny, and sometimes that wind can get pretty heavy. So I thought, let's make some kites. And most kites have triangles hidden in them. What I want you to do is to be creative and use your imagination and design your own kite. Use different colors, patterns, have fun with it. This kite here, we see that it's an acute triangle. Over here, this kite actually has two triangles combined in one. So make your own kite, decide, is it acute, right, obtuse? Is it equilateral, isosceles, or scalene? Again, I'm Mrs. Sapp from Evans Elementary. I really hope you enjoyed this geometry lesson on classifying triangles. And again, the code word today is cake. Have a great day.